A lot of people are hurting, and a lot of people have different desires, and we're going to tap in on those desires and show them they can only be fulfilled in this story.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Missions That Made Them. I am your host, Jason Verdelli. This isn't just a podcast, but rather it's a movement. It's a movement designed to make the world a better place by bringing more awareness to the great work of the people and organizations making a difference. More importantly, how you can help. We live in a world today surrounded by a narrative in the media that focuses in on negativity and draws attention to the problems, but not the solutions. Our guests represent the solutions, not the problems. And with that, I'm super excited today to have Jerry McCorkle with Spread Truth on the show, and just super excited to hear his story, the story behind Spread Truth. And I had a chance to check these guys out before the podcast, go onto their website, and Jerry's going to go into the specifics of this, but what they're doing to share their story and everything else is just absolutely amazing, and they're executing extremely well. So I love I love really having any guest that really represents the solution and not the problem. So that's Jerry. You are definitely a part of that crowd, and super excited to have you on. So welcome.
Hey, Jason, it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Excellent. So tell us about Spread Truth. What's it about?
Well, it's a non-denominational Christian organization that had its roots, its beginning back in 1994 when I was a college and career pastor just a mile away, a church a mile away from Illinois State University. So I decided I would take some college students to New York City, teach them to share their faith, defend their faith, and it went great. The next year we did it again, and the next year, and then some of the older people in the congregation wanted to go, and we began this annual trip to New York to equip and share, help people share their faith. And then it got to be really big, 200-300 people. So in 2001, we decided to separate it from the church and have our own 501c3 organization. And that was kind of the beginnings of Spread Truth as an official organization. Though in 2001, it was named New York City Ministries, which we changed. Then 2006, I was doing both jobs really. I decided to step down as a college and career pastor and to lead Spread Truth full-time beginning in 2006. So that was kind of this initial beginning. It really began with college students, and then it has grown since then.
What was the original sort of birth of the idea, if you want to call it that, in Spread Truth?
Yeah, well, I really didn't have at the time that when we began these mission trips that it would really grow into this organization. It was just really kind of a God thing. I was really interested in taking college students and making sure that they can be able to, first of all, defend their faith, and then be able to take it to various cultures, be able to share their faith. And so I couldn't think of a better city, New York, with 180 different people groups, and
right.
So that was kind of the initiation of the ministry. However, in 2006, I happened to hear a message by Dr. Tim Keller, and he made the statement. He said, hey, listen, the way you share the gospel is going to have to change. He says, because people have changed. He says, it used to be in America that there was this Christ-hauntedness, whereby people, when you talk to them, had a basic idea of certain things of the Bible. He said that group of people actually is shrinking in America. And he says, and we're going to have to come up with some type of evangelism program that covers creation, fall, redemption, restoration. Now, he said it's going to take our best scholars and our best theologians to do it. Well, I knew that I wasn't that. As someone said, I'm not a theologue. I'm not even a theosplinter. Okay? And so, but I took that and said, hey, listen, can Spread Truth, as we go on these trips, can we develop a short booklet that could cover this meta-narrative? And that began the birth of what a lot of our things are centered around, is the story. And so we developed a little booklet called The Story, 10 or 12 pages long. We had some great endorsements, and that really, really took off. From that, we developed the story training. From that, we developed the story film. From that, the story maker for children, and it continues to go on.
Yeah, you know what I love about the video, we talked about this prior to the podcast is just how simple that the story of creation and everything is, as how simple and easy that is to understand. You're taking something that, especially in the age that we live today, we talked about this, is we live where people don't have, they may not, especially you have a younger generation too, they weren't like forced to go to church and learn this, or if they weren't forced to hear that, or they didn't have the time to learn it, maybe they get a lot of things going on, right? Today you have a lot of outside influence, but to break that down into like a 6-minute video, as succinct as you've done, is just incredible.
Well, we were blessed to have one of the best animators who used to work for us, named Phil Borst.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so we were blessed there. And we knew that if we were going to be able to do something, we needed to do it a really high quality. It needed to be fairly brief, because people online are not going to watch things too long. And it needed to be thorough in its doctrine and presentation of the gospel. And right now, if you go to the App Store and look up the story Spread Truth, you can download that app. And that film is actually in 23 different languages, kind of covering languages of the world, about 4 billion people. So, hey, if you meet somebody from mainland China and you're talking with them, you say, hey, listen, can I sing just a story here? It changed my life, and it's contextualized. We'll go in and change things about that film. We partner with Trans World Radio. We'll change scenes, we'll change music, all depending upon the culture in which, so we try to contextualize it.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because you have different parts of the world, and they have a different part of the story too.
Exactly.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
And you can go there to spreadtruth.com.
Right.
So as you're listening to this, spreadtruth.com. You can also, I guess, look it up on the App Store too.
Yeah.
Get it there. And you also do have, so you have the story, which again, can you just touch on a little bit about, I know I touched on sort of high level with it, but can you just touch on that?
Yeah.
Like
the
content
and the film cover creation, fall, rescue, restoration. And so as we go into a culture, and whatever culture it is, we think it resonates because we believe that there are 4 questions that people will probably think about sometime in their lifetime. First one is, hey, listen, how did everything really begin? As I look into the stars and moon, what's really behind this thing? And we know that creation answers that question. Then when you turn on the TV, look at the news, man, you hear war, crime, invasions, tsunamis. We know there's something fundamentally wrong with the world. And we know the fall answers that question, which then begs the question, hey, listen, is there any hope before the situation? And the rescue found in Christ has answered that one. And then everybody sometime in their life thinks about, hey, listen, what does the future hold for me once this life's over with? And the restoration answers that question. So we believe in any culture, you can engage them in this story of Scripture, and it will resonate to something that's going on in their life. So it's not not a presentation, some canned presentation, but we're teaching people to have a conversation, a worldview, and to be able to take it to whatever a part of that person that that they need to. And a lot of people are hurting, and a lot of people have different desires, and we're going to tap in on those desires and show them they can only be fulfilled in this story.
Yeah, that's incredible. Again, spreadtruth.org. It's right, spreadtruth.com.
Right.
Be sure to check that out too. Again, I'm just going to keep saying that.
Yeah.
It's right on the homepage there, about halfway down. And then you also do have the Story Maker. Watch the Story Maker. Can you just touch on what that is about?
The Story Maker is about, again, 6 to 7 minutes long. And again, beautiful ability for children, and whereby we take children through that same meta narrative in their language, in their images. And so we have a film, we have a little booklet that is great to give out, especially at Halloween, trunk or treat. And then we also have a coloring book, and a bracelet that you can share the gospel with children. Again, those 4 colors, and it covers, again, this meta narrative of Scripture. So we want to start when they're young, and then also have it as people get older. So it really becomes a part of their DNA. It's just a natural part of how they look at life. because you're going to see those same themes when you turn on a movie. When you watch a fairy tale, you're going to have a beginning, you're going to have something that goes wrong, you're going to have the hero that comes in that solves a problem,
Right.
and they all lived happily ever after. Every movie follows that same plot line, and every fairy tale follows that same plot line. And so we're just trying to get people to kind of process that and help them to think through and be able to identify with their culture.
Yeah. I think it's really amazing what you've done with that and simplifying the message and more importantly, like tailoring the message, not only by geographic and by each area, but also to different age groups, which is even better, with the coloring book and the video that's tailored to that. I mean, you're allowing people of all ages, you're making it more accessible, as I see it, to the story and understanding things that people that have questions, right? Maybe they like maybe feel embarrassed to ask questions or whatever. I would see is like, hey, why don't you go here in 5-6 minutes? You can get a pretty good indication. You can get a pretty good idea of what this is all about.
Exactly. And what we tried to do is, because it's an animation and because it's done, we think done well, we're able to kind of pivot when there's a world crisis and be able to do Facebook ads into certain regions. So right now, as of last night, we don't have it in Ukrainian yet, but we have it in Russian, which a lot of people in Ukraine speak both Russian and Ukrainian. And so we started Facebook ads last night saying, hey, listen, there's hope, encouragement, even in the midst of these difficult times. And what we're able to do, view people that had they watched 25% of it, 55%, or 95% right at the end, the whole film.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of great because as of last night, we're seeing people seeing full views of the film for 11 cents. And wow. So we just want to be able to offer hope because there's other great agencies that are come along and able to do humanitarian things and things on the ground. Well, that's not our lane. We're really small, but we're saying, hey, listen, how can we possibly help maybe in to kind of offer hope?
Yep. Yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, it's how you've the story of kind of how you got to where you are and how simple. I love how simple the mission is.
Yeah.
It's simple but yet so powerful because man, when you deliver that message to the people that need it, especially right now,
right,
in the times that we're in, I mean that's a huge impact.
Yeah.
For sure.
And one of the other things,
yeah.
Thinking about New York, and y'all aren't very far from New York, this all was really born out of a mission trip that we did for 27 straight years. The last 2 years, because of COVID, we haven't, but we're coming back. And it was all born out of people going to a city with various international cultures, getting them a bird and training them. And this movement really kind of began out of a mission trip to New York. And now and Spread Truth has kind of expanded on the ground operations in both in New York and Kenya, and some things that are happening in Kenya are just mind-boggling. But we're blessed, and we're able to use those same resources in Kenya because English is the official language. They speak Swahili. We have things in Swahili too, but it's been a great partnership in Kenya. Yeah,
that's just so cool. Again, how you tailor that specifically. I mean, all these different languages, and it's just now. How does that work though? How do you, to tailor that story? Are you getting what kind of support do you need to do this? I mean, I would imagine there's got to be pretty either costly or getting a lot of volunteers to on the video side and also getting support to do things like Facebook ads and push a message out.
Yeah.
To them. What kind of support do you look for?
Yeah.
Or how do you make this work? I guess,
Yeah. One of my, hats that I should say get to wear, privileged to wear. So though sometimes I'm not sure I'm privileged is
use that word privilege lightly
is to be the developer. And so obviously what we try to do with individuals and with churches is to hopefully they can come along and invest and partner. And we've been very blessed. There's always big needs of what we need to be able to do. But God has been so good to allow us to have faithful donors who believe in the mission. And I think that they're going to be rewarded just as much as the things that we do there in person in the office or on the ground. These donors will be rewarded in heaven just because of their investment. And so it does, when you do a story film and the story maker, those things aren't cheap. Just just to give you an example, in the Story Maker, this is done professionally. We have a score written specifically for it in California with professional musicians in a studio. The music was $20,000 just to
Wow, just the music.
just the music. You know,
Wow.
and the voiceover is a Broadway actress on the Story Maker. Okay, and so
Yeah.
the animation, all these things. But we really believe we do not mind people tripping up over the message or the gospel, because the gospel can be tough sometimes, but we don't want them tripping up because we did it poorly. And they said, "Man, what in the world is that?" We
Right.
we're in a lot of competition with the media out there to do things right, and I think it's a good representation of Christ. So before we've just done
Really
a video that I hope that you'll be able to see called "The Man on the Middle Cross." It's not an animation; it's a video. Uh, it's tremendous. It's going to be released at Easter time. But to do a 7-minute Man on the Middle video, it's $25,000. So again,
Yeah.
because we got professional actors, professional screenwriters, all those type of things, but we think that aids us in the long run. So because
Sure.
we're not just trying to reach a Christian crowd, we're trying to reach the lost people in the culture.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got to get the content right. To invest into that is huge, and then anything else you do, to promote it is.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
That story booklet. You look at all the doctrinal things that are in the booklet. Man, you've got to cover everything that needs to be covered. You can't cover exhaustively everything, but you're going to have to cover the
right.
You're going to have to cover the ascension. You're going to have to cover the resurrection. You're going to have to cover the virgin birth. You got to do that all within 7 minutes, and it does make it not sound like it's just like, you know what I mean, that type of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's so somebody's watching this. One of the things I always like to, they check again. One is if you're watching this, spreadtruth.com, check them out.
Yeah.
But what's the, from ABC 1, 2, 3, what are the top ways that people can support you?
Well, first of all, prayer. Obviously, nothing happens without the movement of God and the Spirit of God and the anointing of God. So we need prayer. We would love for people to at least get on our mailing list, because we have about, 25 to 30,000 people, and we send out a couple of emails out a week, designed very well, not long and laborious, but
yeah,
because it keeps them abreast of all the things that are going on. And hey, if the Lord lays it on anybody's heart that they would like to financially invest, we would be deeply appreciative. And I think, and I'm biased, okay, I think it's a great investment of mission dollars to get the gospel around the world.
Absolutely. Nepal,
getting the gospel out in Nepal, full watches of the story film in Nepali for about, 6 or 7 cents a full watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you believe in spreading the story and everything else, I mean, that's huge. It's a great investment. What a better way, what a better transaction, if you will, better return on investment than to know where your dollars are going is to spread a story. And clearly you guys are doing an amazing job in doing this, both on the creation side as well as distributing it too.
Yeah.
So, you that's where a lot of your investment dollars are going. It looks like too on your website, you go to spreadtruth.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom. It looks like is that where people can subscribe?
I here I am. I don't have sure.
I have a 27-inch monitor that has websites up here as I'm reviewing and I've had some conversation. So I have a little bit of a
but if there's
a little bit of luxury, but yeah.
And also I would encourage them, if they would like to go to the App Store, because there's nothing, you're not going to be able to take your Bible with you everywhere you go, but most of us have our phone with us, and I can't tell you the number of people that have been able to share in a good way. And some people, you say, well, listen, I'm so scared to ever say anything. I'm not really courageous yet to say something. Well, hey, listen, you may have a friend or a relative, and you can send them the link and just say, hey, listen, not trying to sound real religious here, but this is a story that changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love for you to look at it. And it's a great way for a person who may be a little shy, that first step in learning how to be able to communicate for Christ.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Fantastic. So I think, Jerry, you are a part of the solution. right? You are everything we talk about here at the Missions That Made Them. Spreadtruth.com, the Spread Truth, the organization you've developed is just absolutely incredible. You followed your heart, you followed your mind, you followed you followed everything. You followed the light and everything that has been given, right? I think, and I think that's just amazing work that you guys have absolutely have done. So,
for the opportunity, Jason, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd love to jump in again. First interview here, I always like to kind of get the overview and then jump into subtopics later, to different areas. But I think, again, if you're watching, you're looking to be part of the solution. Again, you have the ability to change the world and make it a better place by bringing more hope, by saving lives, by sharing this information, by sharing the information of the great work of the people and organizations making a difference. And truly, Spread Truth is doing that. You got to check out the website, spreadtruth.com. Again, spreadtruth.com. And then also check them out on the app stores. Make sure you download the app, get involved that way. And they're giving you the ability to spread their message and spread the story that's going to really bring hope and inspire other people and hopefully change their life, and in some cases save lives. So I think, so blessed to have you on today, and
for the opportunity.
Amazing what you guys
you're doing, man. We really do.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, it's, if we all be part of that solution, individuals, if we can inspire the individual to become part of the solution, that they can actually make an impact, and you can make them believe that they can be the impact, they can make an impact on somebody else's life. And sometimes, some days that's a little bit easier to do than others. But I think as we start to, as a world, as society, as we come together as individuals and not worry about, the government has to do this for us, or, this company's got to do this for us. We have the ability to change that. We have the ability right now. You have the ability right now to go to spreadtruth.com, to go and to take some sort of action, right? Support them, share them. Jerry's giving you, giving you the platform to do so, but you have the ability to, in your mind right now, just make that change. And man, does it make you feel? It makes you feel great. It's just like picking up and going for a couple mile run. When you're done, it's sometimes when you it's a little bit of a shift out of your day. It's something different. But at the same time, at the end of the day, when you do those things and you start to take action on making the world a better place, it makes you feel so great. And what a better way, what a better feeling that you can get. And Jerry, your organization is really just, by serving the world in that way, other people can really connect into your purpose. And it's a great way to be able to give yourself a deeper sense of purpose, deeper sense of meaning, which is something we all need as human beings. So it's, I think that's absolutely huge. Any last words here, Jerry, before we hop off?
Big thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be able to share, and if any way we can be able to connect again, I'd love to be able to do that.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have you back on. And with that said, everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Missions That Made Them here. Be sure to smack the bell so you can get notifications when we post out new episodes. And also be sure to share this video. As Jerry said, one of the things that you can really do to help them out is through prayer and also through sharing the message, right? I think that's one of the key things that you can do right now. And so take this video and share this out with anybody that that needs that inspiration, that is can be a part of the solution here. So I think that's absolutely crucial. So with that said, again, Jerry, thanks for coming on.
Have a blessed day, my friend.
Absolutely. You too. And, for everybody out there, stay blessed, stay amazing, and we will see you next time.